change the things for myself, I could see that I need to understand better how I also could feel alive. How could I do things that nourished me? And from this, I could help others. And a beautiful journey started.
Today we're speaking with Stael, Brazilian engineer, who after experiencing burnout in her regular job made a decision to travel the world, volunteering and visiting Kadampa centers. Hello, Stael. Thank you for saying yes to sharing with us your story. I wanted to ask you firstly to introduce yourself and maybe give us a brief background of your story.
I grew up in a city that is in the countryside of Brazil, in a stable family with father, mother, sister, in the regular system. So I went to a good school, I did university, so I graduated in engineering, and then I went to pharmaceutical company. And I think something that is important to mention is that since I was a teenager and also during university, I traveled. I had the amazing opportunity to travel around the world. So I did 1 year of my graduation in Australia. I did the social project in Croatia. So I had this world view since a young age. And I think this molded me that I could do many things and that different things are nice to me. And I understand a little bit of the world. After the pharmaceutical experience, I changed to work with education. I got an opportunity to work for the Brazilian government, implementing public policies of education. And it felt a lot better because education for me was something that I thought that gave me many opportunities. So I would like more people could experience the things that I experienced, could make choices. So I believed I was doing something good. But the more I got to know the educational public system, the more I could see how much suffering there was on it. And I thought, maybe if I work more, I can make things better. So I started to work more and more. Maybe I should learn more things. Maybe I need to do more. And what happened was I got a burnout. It didn't matter how much I worked. I myself couldn't make any difference. I was one person trying to do something for a system. So I saw how small I was. And instead of trying to change the things for myself, I could see that I need to understand better how I also could feel alive. How could I do things that nourished me? And from this, I could help others. And a beautiful journey started. I went for the Malaga Temple opening for the festival, and it was my first international festival. It was incredible experience, So I knew Kadampa. I've been to festivals in Brazil, but to see a place with people from all over the world, I think there was almost 2,000 people speaking all the languages, and the festival is all organized by the participants. I was like, wow, those people are really doing what they say they're doing. And it was for me like something that clicked, because in many of my previous experience, like mainly working experience, I was in place that they said beautiful words, but you didn't see them in the action. So the action was blaming others, postponing things, not taking responsibility. And I saw the opposite in the festival by people really practicing what they were saying and then meditating in a temple with 2,000 people with the same thing in mind. It's really powerful experience. If you haven't tried, you should try. It's incredible. And I was really happy. And I went back from my job and I thought, yeah, now I'm nourished. I'll be fine. And it was horrible. I went back to that same reality. So after a couple of months, I quit. I discovered that I could volunteer. I discovered the art studio in Manjushri during summer festival. In between the sessions, I went to the studio and then I was maybe sending an earring, learning this. And I thought that was so curious, so nice thing to do. I didn't know that this existed. And the coordinator said that I could stay volunteering. And I said, what a crazy thing that is stay volunteering. That's insane. I have my ticket. I will go back to Brazil. And what happened, it stayed in my mind, this idea. She planted an idea. And I said, I like this thing. Maybe I should talk to more people. And I talked to another Brazilian that lived there at this moment, Simone. Maybe she will listen to it and she will remember. I asked Simone, I think I want to do this a little bit. And then but I'm afraid I have to go back, blah, blah, blah. And then she said, Stael, look how many people are here. You developed this wish to stay a bit longer. They didn't. That's your thing. And then I went back to the coordinator and I said to her, hey, I filled the form, so maybe I can stay volunteering. And then she opened her phone and then she did, okay, ready, you're accepted, so you can stay.
Well, that was fast. Brilliant.
Yeah, and then I stayed as a volunteer. Then after that, I went back to Brazil. I still didn't have a job. And then I did another beautiful project in the Brazilian temple, restoring the vajras in the roof. So I learned gilding. And then in the following year, that was last year in 2023, I decided to go for the trainee arts program back in Manjushri, back in the studio. That 6 months program. So I could stay and learn all the statue making process, all the departments. That was so beautiful. I was so curious about everything. I want to try all the machines, all the equipment. I'm an engineer, so I was like having fun. It felt I was in a lab.
Yeah, I remember when they have been casting the 6-foot Buddha statue. And you have been telling me that it was super exciting for you to be like a part of this process where they are rotating the mold and then the Buddha is appearing inside. So I remember there was an element of being at awe and the excitement.
But I think my main learnings, Agnes, was about how to treat people with kindness. It's a place where mistakes are accepted, and it was for me so beautiful to see like how to work with mistakes when mistakes happen. So one day we were sandblasting things. A sandblaster is a big machine that rounds sand, so you smooth a surface. And we had some pieces that were already painted with a coat in white, and we're going to sandblast them. And but this is already forward in the process. Why are we putting it back? And then the person said, well, that's because I made a mistake. And it was for me like so huge to say that like in such a joyful way.
So it seems to me that the highlight of your stay here at Manjushri, as well as meeting people at the international festival, was actually finding out that they practice what Buddha's teachings are about.
I think for me, you're right. The highlights were how people relate to each other there in the tradition when they are putting in practice Buddhist teachings. And then also maybe there is something that happened when I was in that moment that I entered in a deep searching, like in an inner journey about who I am, what I want to do. And this led me to go to some more traveling. So I've been to many other Kadampa centers around the world. And amazingly, I don't need a lot of money to do it because it feels I just have a house. Anywhere I go, I am held by the practitioners, by beautiful people who are happy that I'm there and who I'm also happy to share a little bit of myself to help to bring this, what I'm learning, to bring this with joy, and then to share with different people, to learn about their stories. So I feel really, really flattered to be able to share my story with some others. And maybe this can inspire whoever is listening to pursue who they are, to embrace this journey, to go in an authentic path.
With traveling around the world to other Kadampa centers, obviously, from what I understood, you already have been in Brazil, you have been in Spain, you have been here in UK at Manjushri. What do you feel is there in common amongst all of those places that you are visiting?
So what they have in common is Buddhist teachings is Dharma, put the practice as a priority to take care of the space, like in a spiritual way. But each place is different. So there is a thread that holds the unicity of the tradition, but also it changes from region to region to adapt to the collective needs of the practitioners that goes to that specific one.
What do you think was the most transformative about your experience of meeting Kadampa practice, Kadampa tradition, and also visiting the centers?
What I think it really developed in me, this wish of helping others whenever I can, because I feel I've been receiving so much from people that many times don't even know me. It brings me this joy in giving and helping others.
What would you like other people to know or to understand about this way of life?
To be in this environment, to see people from all over the world, we're just really similar people. Doesn't matter the country where you're from, your age, your skin color. I think this is important to learn so you can see people as who they are, to cut off the labels. And I think to volunteer helps a lot because you enter in a humble position. I already feel in my body the need of studying, of meditating. And I know that if I practice enough, this can bring me peace of mind. And this is where I want to be, to be more and more in a state that I am in peace, with inner peace. I think my story is just beginning and I'm excited to live that. And I would give an invitation for everyone who is listening to write their own stories. Sometimes we live with a lot of fear and we think that we should follow paths that are already written. But if you take the courage to step away of it and write your own story, it can bring you so much, There will be many challenges for sure, because when you open like a blank page, anything could come. But it's so much fun to go on this path of embracing whatever comes and accept joyfully and create whatever you want to create.
It's been lovely speaking to you today, and I hope it will inspire some people to endeavor on this inner journey to inner peace through Buddhist teaching and meditation. Yeah. So thank you, Stael, so much for your time.
For this.
And well, I hope we speak to each other soon.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see each other soon. For sure in
Maybe
Brazil.
on another Kadampa festival.
Exactly, in October.
Yes. Wonderful. Thank you.